What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video, and today we're gonna just try to quick talk about the blower shorty tubes. Real quick, I want to just go over where we stand currently. This is just a 650 CFM Ego. I know there's higher ones out there. I'm kind of waiting for the next one. They're coming out too quick, so every other iteration is what I'm going to get. So that thing comes with this long, monstrous tube, and it's fine. But when you want to dry off the car, it's not the most ideal setup. It works, it can work, it's fine. A lot of people make a big deal about it, but it just doesn't look as cool, and it doesn't look tacty cool. So everybody ended up wanting to get the stubby nozzle. Now this is the stubby nozzle. This thing is beautiful, 3D printed. The guy who runs this company, super awesome. I love this product, super quality. The only thing that I don't love about this product is the way that it has to come off, not on. When it goes on, it's fine. I'm going to demonstrate in a second. These are the tubes that come with the stock part. We're going to put them aside and talk about them in a second. So they're awesome, but they only work on the end of the stock part. So you don't get the option of using them with the stubby nozzle. Now this thing, you're like, oh, what's that in the background? So I had bought an Ego branded thing called like a leaf gutter attachment. So it ended up having this piece which locked on, and you could twist just a bunch of little tubes to get really high up and then somehow reach and bend and point. I don't even know if I kept the tubes. I might have just thrown them out, to be honest with you, and just kept this. Total waste of money, absolutely. But I liked having another version of the stubby. So we're going to talk about the reason I love this one, but I haven't used it that much. It's the on-off. It's the ability to push this and pull out, and I'm going to demonstrate that in a second, but I'm going to talk about the reason for today's video. So I didn't know this was a thing. Excuse the lighting, still trying to figure that out. I didn't know that they made a short tube attachment, and yet here it is. They have a freaking short tube attachment. I haven't opened it yet. I'm going to show you what it looks like on here, and in this video we're going to put my bad boy up here and try out this angle for the first time. So let's do that right now, actually. Let's take this down. This is my old reliable, and let's try to find the right height. So like I had hoped, this is pretty cool. Let's open this up and let's start talking about a couple things, because this is the first time opening. This has got some like rubberized texture here. It's regular plastic here, and it's got, yep, okay. So there is a sleeve. So here, very similar to the blower band here. I just bent it a little bit, but there is a sleeve here. So I guess if you bang into your paint, which I really don't recommend doing, the only thing that sucks is this material is gonna collect this often, and that's gonna be annoying. This thing, you can see, let's see, it's pretty much, it's almost like they bought his and found out exactly what to use, which is kind of weird. Anyway, let's talk about this. Like I said, this is the one, whoa, I bumped into that. Here we go. This is the one we've been using. Let me take this battery off here. Make this a little bit more maneuverable. Discharge. Point in a safe direction and evacuate. So this is what we've been using as an alternative to the stubby nozzle, but this just looks more appealing. It's functional. But with this thing, you could basically just put it down here, you push the button, and you pull up, and that's it. It's off. Excuse the struggle. I'm trying not to shake the bench because I'm still trying to figure out. You stop. trying not to have the vibrations. Now with this thing, this goes on very easy. Locks on, super secure. But the thing is, to get this off, they tell you to squeeze this, and you're supposed to squeeze this and push. The only way I've ever found for me to easily do it is I push it down all the way in, and I push my fingers and then come up. It's not that big of a deal. It's not a deal breaker by any means. But when I saw this, and it's got the button, right? So just like the stock one, don't you feel manly when you do this? I wouldn't know what that feels like. This has got me beat, man. Holy Christ. What an angle too, that's weird. This thing comes off, actually this comes off way easier on and off than even this one. Probably because I haven't used this one as much. This one sticks a tiny bit. It's because it's new. It is made by Ego, so that's a little weird that would do that. But let's try this. So this goes on and wow, comes off. On and off, super easy. So if you want to switch between the long tube or the short tube for any reason, that's what that is. On and off. And this is what that looks like versus the original that we've been using, the OG. Definitely smooth, the material. So now the only thing that I'm thinking of, and I won't test this real quick, sound-wise, this is definitely more of a thinner, hollowy sounding tube. I did notice that this had some kind of atrocious whistling noise compared to the others. All right, so to get that off, again, double fist it, and you got this bad boy, clicks right on. We will test at the end to see if we can remove this silicone type rubber material here and try out the tips. But what I will do now is put this back up. Now, let's just see what we could do. So now, this thing is chilling right there. So I just got done making a video where I was like basically talking about how I'm gonna start using this literally 5 minutes ago, and then this video popped up into my head and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna start using it. So let's just get an idea. This is not some technical test. It is a little bit like hollow in here, so you're gonna get the echoes and everything going on. It's almost like a borderline cave of sorts. So I'm gonna turn this on. This does have the turbo button pushed down by, again, the other part that Stubby makes, and this thing's on full tilt when you want it to go. So I'm gonna hit the button, I'm gonna hold it for a second, you're gonna hear the noise, and you tell me if you can hear an audible difference in the way this sounds with nothing, the way it sounds with the longer tube, and then we're just gonna run through the tubes, because I'm telling you, I think, with my little ears, that there's a difference. Now this is gonna be with nothing attached to it. Okay, all right, so now let's put this bad boy on. That's on, and we're gonna hear what this sounds like. I'm blowing my flag like crazy. Now we're gonna try this one. This is the gutter attachment. It's got nothing on it, so this is what this sounds like. See how that's a little loud? Let's go with the Stubby OG. Now listen to this one. Hear how loud that is? Sometimes you get it perfect, sometimes you don't. All right, and this is the new one. On, let's see what this sounds like. I feel like it has less of this whistling, whiny sound. Shit's just falling back there. Let's go back to this one real quick. Since these are the only two that matter, listen to this out. You hear the sound? It's not just me, right? Like you can hear it. One more time with this one. That one does that too. So it can't just be like the whole size, right? This one's a tiny bit wider, but this is definitely like it can almost go in there. That means it could probably, yeah, this thing could like almost go up inside that. There's almost some penetration action going on here. This is like a PG channel most of the day. One more time. Last one. Nah, it's significantly louder. You gotta creak that bitch. Maybe I haven't lifted in a little while. I'm weak now. Who knows? I have no idea. And there's no excuse. It's right there. What am I doing? Just been too busy. Excuses are like assholes. Everybody's got one and they all stink. I've heard that a long time. So my theory is just the material. That's a thicker plastic and it's got this protective rubber silicone, but then it's very much a thinner, more pliable. Obviously, it's a 3D printed thing. This is probably some kind of like injection molded thing. Do they both do the job? Yes, but when I do use the Stubby, it is noticeable. It is a noticeable sound. You're gonna want to put headphones on. In general, you should with the leaf blower, but definitely with this. If I'm using the leaf blower with the big Kahuna, I would say it's not a necessity. This just popped up in my Instagram feed. I saw it, and I bought one, but nobody was doing a video on it. It was just a picture, and I forget who the hell posted it. I forget, but I'm happy they did because I like options. I'll link down below on Amazon where you get this. It's definitely worth it to buy. Again, easy on, easy off. So I really like that part of it. I like that it's got the rubber silicone type setup, and I think it's significantly quieter. Let's try this one again. I think this one is almost as loud as the other one. That's still pretty loud, which is kind of weird. It's hard to do this with one hand. It's kind of weird considering this material is thin and these two are thick. So with this scenario, I believe it's because it's something, again, I'm not into physics or any of that stuff, so I have no idea, but I think because it's funneling, it's the way it's funneling, the shape of it. You know, it's going to a smaller hole and it's going to make more noise. Wow. It makes more noise when the hole's smaller. Unbelievable. It's crazy. All right, one last time. Noise. Let's hear some more noise. Jesus Christ. Well, that's it. I don't know, not much to say here. I think everything is worth having. Obviously, you have this attachment here, the OG. You got the big Kahuna. So if you want to use that, you can use that. This one, I mean, I don't recommend you go out and buy this gutter attachment now that I see this attachment. This wasn't around at the time of this. This makes no sense unless you're using this for its intended purpose. This was a thing I bought. I saw it local and it was like a discount. It was at some hardware store or whatever. I picked it up. I didn't even save the tubes. That's so stupid, but I didn't. This is not worth it if you're gonna end up just wanting this. This is the whole point of it. So what I think you should do is definitely pick this up or this one or both. I have FOMO. I think either one, if you get this on Etsy, Amazon, he's all over the place now, rightfully so, very cool. But if you don't want to have to deal with this on off, say you don't remove this at all and that's the only time this goes on or off, aesthetically, I like this one a little bit more. I like that it's Ego branded. I like that it matches the rest of the look. It's smooth. I just love that it's got the clip, okay? And it matches the coloring, it matches everything. So it makes sense. But yeah, thank you so much for stopping by. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. If you're an OCD OG, I appreciate it. I would take this outside and do a video seeing if it's gonna make any difference blowing off water or whatever, but to be honest with you, it's gonna do the same goddamn thing. It's blowing air, and this literally is the same thing as this, except visually it's different. It's got a larger rubber silicone area here, which I do like that a lot, but this is the only reason I bought this, and I do like that. I appreciate that, the convenience of it. I do use this leaf blower for other things around the house, not just for automotive purposes. So if you're not going to have to take this off, either one is a win. You don't have to spend the money. But for me, because I take it off so often and I have multi-use for this, this does make sense as well. And it's just nice to have it. I can't say, oh, I'm missing out, because I don't miss out. I needed it. I had to have it, and I got it. I hope everybody's staying happy, healthy, and humble. And if this interests you, I'll link it down below. I have no affiliation with Ego, except for my large ego. I really don't have a large ego. I'm racked with insecurities and anxiety. So don't take that joke for seriousness. Okay. I love everybody. Hope everybody's doing well. I'll see you on the next one.